Hello, I'm Atsa,
And I'm Garrett.
and welcome to the Late Night Guild Wars 2.
Right, so the first beta weekend, let's talk about that. That was one interesting bit, somewhat a bit of content, very very small, I'd say. I didn't really get to sink my teeth in as much as I expected, but I suppose they wanted to keep most of what they have in store for us for the expansion, for the actual release. So I'm just really curious what you thought about mounts specifically. And of course, the story, the way that the mounts are introduced is also very important. And them coming in with the story, I think that was a stroke of genius on their side. They finally really integrate something as good as a mount system with story. They haven't done that with gliding, and yeah, I personally see this as a very, very good decision.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool having like a way to upgrade your mastery about the mount inside the story, as well having like the heart inside the story as well. I would
Yeah,
like
definitely.
something completely new and different that they did. And I really like the borders as well, that they like the instance border that they changed as you were progressing with the story.
Yeah,
It
as
was
you were following Balthazar's lieutenant or what she was. Yeah.
I really like the idea and like especially the part about the heart that you were going to do it on the story.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I was a bit confused about the heart at first. I thought I was supposed to somehow strictly use the raptor to do it, or maybe it was just something on my side. I couldn't do anything while I was on the raptor, so I had to constantly get down from the raptor and risk people myself. I thought the raptor would have done that because
No.
it explained to me. I mean, it didn't really explain to me. There was something in the corner saying something about helping people using the raptor, but I guess it just meant jump with the raptor
Yeah,
to get the
exactly.
help.
I mean, the reason why I guess they included the heart as well as with the mount was that there was some hard terrain. So in order to like go to the like place where the humans were, was you needed the mount. So it was kind of like I guess a training or like I don't know something like that, some sort of that, so people can like understand what's how we're gonna use the mounts because the
Yeah,
mounts they're gonna be like something to show off probably because as with gliders we're probably gonna get some sim outfits or armors for the mounts, but yeah, I mean it's gonna be the mounts are gonna be very useful in like the whole new maps. So I guess that was a way to like introduce the mounts and how they're gonna get used in the maps. So it was yeah, it was probably
you just
that.
said something very interesting to me.
Oh, I did?
Cause cause I always thought, all right, so they're gonna sell skins for the mounts, but you said armor for the mounts, and I'm even more intrigued about that.
I mean,
Having actual armor for the mounts would be really cool.
I thought about skins, but it would be kind of strange because they would have to completely revamp like the models. So it's gonna be like, okay, you have for example, the rabbit mount. So what if you want to buy something, it's gonna be what a completely different like animal, but it has like the same things that the rabbit is doing. So it
Yeah,
doesn't work really well. So the only thing that they can do is like put a skin over the already skinned, right?
yeah,
So
I suppose, yeah.
so armor and outfit is like the most safe bet for them.
I suppose, yeah, and you could have like a Christmas bunny.
Oh my god, that would be so good actually.
Yeah, definitely some. That would really be cool. Could be. I would actually say that that would be interesting. Would be very very cool to see mounts having armors because it adds just a very very different a very different option to customize your character. Like normally, yeah, you had the gliders, but most of them were they were either subtle or obnoxious. They didn't really fit anywhere in between, and they weren't really a way to customize your character because really your glider said nothing about you other than the fact that I spent some money on the gem store. But having a mount with a certain type of armor, yes, it is also spending some money on the gem store, but it's also it just becomes a bit more personal because this is kind of an animal that your character supposedly tames, or well, gains the affection of, as it's put in the story, and it's just so much. It's so much better because it ties into who your character is.
Exactly. I mean, I'm already like looking forward to that, of people like being on their mounts while in front of a bank NPC.
Oh
Like a
god.
whole like bunch of people, like full cluster of like mounts and people. The only problem that I saw and I tried on the beta was when you interact with an NPC, unfortunately, you dismount. So probably people were gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go to talk to the NPC. Fine, I'm done with it. I'm gonna stay AFK on the mount though. I hope it's gonna happen. It's gonna be so good. It's
You just
gonna
want
be
to make a
amazing.
ton of people salty.
No, it's gonna be fun.
I'm curious what you think about the story. Did it get you intrigued into what's going on?
I wanted to see more, but yeah, I mean, we had to see more. Like the whole beta, as you said, it was really small, but it was really interesting. I like the idea behind the story and how the hell it's gonna like expand after that. We have to say it's pretty cool because I kinda identify the Balthazar as like a mad person as we had with Scarlet. It's not similar, but it's I really like that kind of like villain of like doesn't care about what's going on to the rest of the world as long as he is okay and he is like cool.
Yeah, so he definitely has an interesting dynamic. Although I don't know about mad, I gotta add that bit. I think it's more of a personal vendetta. I won't spoil anything for anybody who hasn't yet played the Living World or hasn't yet gotten the game and gotten to that point in the story, but he did express some amount of care for somebody. Although we don't know who, that we should also add that he said something about somebody there. Um, yeah, it was Balthazar's character is very interesting to me. I gotta say I didn't expect them to do him that way. I didn't even expect them to put a god there. A lot of people
Yeah,
said, "Oh, it's gonna be a god. It's gonna be a god." I was like, "No, it's not gonna be a god."
yeah,
And then it was a god.
yeah. It can happen to be a god. No, dude.
And I really like his character. I stated this a number of times. I believe you've even heard me state it a number of times. I love the fact that he starts out when you challenge him, he says that there is nothing to be gained from war. That
Yeah,
conflict doesn't basically solve anything in his eyes. Like he's the god of war, and
he's
he himself
exactly
does
like who
fuck
who are
off.
you to talk about? Like, come on, dude. What happened?
Yeah, it's great. He has a really great has a really great character going for him, I think, and a very interesting arc could come out. I mean, story arc could come out of his whole vendetta against the dragons. And I'm curious to see exactly how long will Balthazar be a part of the story. That's another fact for me. Like, will it be just we go in the desert and we fight Balthazar and lo and behold we've beaten the god in one expansion, or will he transcend into multiple expansions? Is he a more will he be a more prevalent threat to Tyria, or just a one-time thing? And more to the point, what's his whole deal, like what he wants to do? It's very interesting, and
Yeah,
putting him as a piece in the play. I know one of the devs mentioned this. It basically just going from dragon to dragon, it became very predictable, right? The story wasn't all that interesting, and it couldn't have been all that interesting because, let's be honest, which dragon am I fighting next isn't a very, very good question to ask yourself when you think of a story. All good stories are very complex. And I really like the fact that they added Balthazar as a piece in the play. He really shakes things up.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking forward to it at the beginning, but I am now.
No, it's really interesting because I see your point by saying let's hope it's not gonna be like, okay, we see Balthazar, we kill him, that's it. It will be kind of sad if we're gonna kill like a really awesome god just with like 9 episodes. Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to see a lot about him actually. You're right on that. It's gonna be very amazing and interesting story.
I'd like to see even the other gods and see what the heck they're doing, because them not being a part of the story is interesting enough, but I really want to get their side of things. Like, why aren't they getting involved? What's going on here? Because at the end of the day, it can't be just Balthazar who decides to, basically destroy Tyria. It has to be the other gods as well. Must have a say in this, considering that they together helped form Tyria into what it is today, and lore-wise, they're very important figures. And I honestly thought that we were done with the gods after Guild Wars 1, but apparently, I think we've yet to see what the human gods can actually do.
Exactly.
And I'm really excited to get into that chapter.
Okay, so we both played the map, right?
Yeah,
Did you like it? Like how it felt, how it looked and all that?
the first second you get into the map with the airship from, I think it was an airship, wasn't it?
It was an airship, yeah.
Yeah, it was an airship. The first second you get into the map with the airship from Lion's Arch, it's amazing just to see that there's some debris falling off one of the, I think it's a derelict pyramid on your left. I don't remember the scene very, very perfectly, but it was really a breathtaking scene in and of itself.
It was really interesting indeed, yeah. I mean, what kind of effects and whatever coding is behind that to make like that so good?
Yeah, it looks really good. I gotta give it to ArenaNet. They've always done very well when it comes to maps, and I expected no less. But they impressed me. They really did. The city, the free city of Amnoon, I think it's called. It's beautiful. Just the pyramids, the sort of windmill-like things on top of them. The port is beautiful. The port is absolutely amazing.
I have to say I stayed like AFK for like, I don't know, like 2 hours or something on that spot while I had like the game on the background. And I was lucky enough to see like the change from like the map from day to like night. And it was so beautiful. The sky was so good. I mean, we have to say, like, as you said, the game is so beautiful. Like, not just the expansion, like the new maps, but the whole game is so beautiful. And I think we have to give some props to the people that they work on the sky, because most of the time, most people don't even see that thing, and it's so beautiful. You have like the port, like that nice still water and like the boats, and then in the background like you see like that nice moon and the stars. Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I especially liked the port. I gotta add the fact that I went there just as the sun was setting at one point, and it was amazing. It looks really good, and I love the ships. I love the tents around that they've made, and the hearts around the map, the quest hearts or whatever you want to call them. Those are also really, really nice. They portray what is going on in the map so well, and I've been talking about how the hearts are such an important part, because they used to tell you about what's going on the map. And because I remember going around in Queensdale and just talking to the NPCs that had the hearts on top of above their heads, and just reading through what they had to say really gave you an idea of what the map was all about. And getting that feeling is very, very important to me, because that's how you start to care about the events that are going around, I think. It's no longer like Ore, where you go in there and it's a war zone, and you know it's supposed to be a war zone, or like in the jungle where you go there and it's supposed to be a war zone again. You feel like you're in a world with actual people that have different problems than whatever your problem is.
Interactive world.
Yeah, and it makes it feel like a living world,
Yeah.
which is it's their I suppose their purpose with this game in a way. It's to make a living world, a world that feels like it's evolving. And this is part of it. The helping the refugees' heart specifically took my most of my attention, because there's food and medicine and water there, but there's not enough to feed or bandage or give to all of them.
Yeah.
And at some point, you're like, oh shit, I gave those people water, but I can't give this guy water, so someone else has to come and give them water. That's true. And eventually they'll all be served. But the fact that you can't, that's a really good addition from an RPG perspective, because you get the feel that, hey, there's not enough resources here. I can't help these people. I want to, but I can't because we're not given enough.
Yeah.
And just around the camp, there was this hero point with this undead guy, and you could fight him. And around this guy, there were people begging the undead delegation, as they called it, to take them back to Vabi because Balthazar was attacking the area. And it just gives you such an interesting idea of what the world is about right there, right? Because those people fled from Vabi, and now they want to go back because apparently Palawa Joko is the lesser of the two evils.
I didn't know about that. That's actually really amazing part from ArenaNet. Like I didn't see like that guy. Like, oh my god, that's so cool actually.
Did you see the undead guy selling action figures of Palawa Joko?
No, I haven't seen that guy. Like,
there's like a guy. He has an entire conversation. I don't remember the entire conversation though, but I remember bits of it. Every time, like there's a prairie scholar that tries to ask him a few questions, and every time he gets asked a few questions, he just responds with yes or no, and then finishes the sentence by asking, "You buy?"
oh,
He's so funny. I don't remember the entire conversation, but it's a really good piece of dialogue, really, going on over there, and it gives you an idea of the fact that these undead, they're not like the Risen.
yeah.
They're not harmless, but they're not like the Risen. They're very different. They seem to be controlled in different ways. Because the Risen, the only thing they said was die and a few other things, conspicuous things, but really nothing very, very important. But these guys, they have the capacity not just of understanding you, but of responding to you. That's something different. But in my eyes, the thing that took the mounts, like the thing that kind of justified the mounts, to so to speak, is the races. I love the races.
Yeah, the race was really funny. I had to try for some times until I just reached the players. Like there were some NPCs running, and I didn't know like at first, and I was like, "Oh, I see them. They're there. I might be able to like finish like third." And then I was just seeing like the messages like that guy is done. That guy is done. I'm like, there. How many players were playing? And then I just saw that there were NPCs. I'm like, how far behind am I?
Yeah, I first time I did the race, I got lost. Just completely and utterly lost. I did not follow the minimap. I was just like, okay, I gotta see on the minimap where I'm supposed to go, right? I ended up in the other side of the map. I didn't know what the hell was going on. At some point, I was in like one of the camps of the Forged of Balthazar's minions. I was just nudging people away, thinking to myself, where the hell am I supposed to even go in this race? How did I end up here?
What the hell are you doing there? But yeah, enough with the race actually. Should we talk about like events slash the bounties? Because bounties
Oh,
was a really fun experience for me.
I mainly did bounties. I did like I think 2 events in total.
No, I
The
did a
ones that I
lot.
could find. Yeah, I just didn't really have the I don't know. I'm not that much into events, I gotta say.
Well,
But
that's not exactly like events. It's more like the Guild Wars 2 edition, or I guess try of making Monster Hunters. I
I
really
suppose.
feel like that I was playing that game because it was like you put like a bounty to that like monster or whatever, and you just went there to kill it and get a loot or something. It was pretty funny. At some point, I don't know if it's true. I think I've heard from a person that said if we get a legendary bounty or something like that, just shout at me so I can come. So if there are like some like I guess tiers on the bounties, oh, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah, I'd love to see some tiers to the bounties. What I'd actually love to see to the bounties is some sort of tied-in rewards. That's my first sort of requirement for them, because they're nice to do, but if the only thing they're going to do with them is just add another daily, I don't know if they're using the system well. So I hope we'll see like a bunch of new rewards coming in with bounties, maybe even some interesting, unique skins tied to the bounty creatures that you can kill,
Ooh.
just like they did with Heart of Thorns. In I think the one that I remember best is Dragon's Stand. They had those Mordrum generals that had some really cool Mordrum weapons.
Yeah, that would be really cool actually, yeah.
So
So
that's
literally a monster hunter then.
yeah,
Ju-
literally Monster Hunter.
You
I'd
just
want trophy.
yeah, exactly.
So that's about all there was in for the first beta. So we'll see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.
See ya. Whenever you're ready.
All right, so I think that's about all there was in the first beta. So we'll no.
Oh my god.
I completely forgot what was my outro. Okay, so we'll see you again in the next episode. That's what I gotta say. That's so.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh. Ooh.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.